Hi guys, it's 1st of May and I'm going to tell you what I've been up to this week. So this week I've been working with a material that has been bugging me for a while because it's not recyclable and it often goes into my general waste and I can't find a way to actually avoid it, which is the crisp packet. By the way, this brand is amazing, try it. You might think that crisp packets is an odd choice, because why on earth would you try to make something from this into pajamas? But let me tell you what's currently already in your wardrobe and maybe you will change your mind. PET, which is this bottle is made of it, or also called polyester when it's actually made into fabrics. This jumper is made of polyester. So basically, these two things is actually made out of the same material. And also, the pajamas that I'm wearing right now are made of the same material. Even more, it's actually 52% of the current world's textiles are made of polyester, so this thing, and only 13% of them are recycled. Going back to my crisp packet choice, so this is slightly different material. It's metallized polypropylene. So it's still oil derivative, but it's different. In theory, it could be recycled, but it's not commercially viable. So I thought maybe I can recycle into pajamas. So yeah, so I tried this material and I will show you what I did and how it turned out. So first I decided that I should cut the crisp packet into small strips, so to create some sort of a yarn. So I cut it in 3mm strips. I thought the finer I do it, the more likely it will get to the yarn, or similar to real yarn. And then I thought that I should weave it, and here you can see my silly cardboard loom. You can see the tutorial for it in the description. It takes ages, by the way. It's definitely the slowest process that I have tried. So this is just these strips of crisp packets woven together. It makes actually quite nice fabric. It's quite soft, it's quite flexible, but I would say it's actually quite nice result. Definitely better than I expected. It does remind me a bit of like, you know, the bottom of the tent really. But it looks quite nice. I didn't do a plain weave, I actually did 2-2 twill, so it has a bit more space, more room for movement. I don't know if that actually affected anything. But yeah, so that was my first sample. Then I decided to knit it, which is another process how you can make cloth from yarn. So this is my knitted sample. It has a lot of bounce in it. It looks quite nice. I really like the effect that it did. It does remind me of some kind of glittery dress type of thing. But it is really scratchy and it does have a lot of holes, and I don't think it would be comfortable to wear it next to your skin really. Otherwise I'm quite excited about it. The bounce is quite amazing. Then I thought that I should do another process, which is finishing the cloth. So I actually tried to iron them. So when I just ironed the packets, it looks like this. So they definitely melt together, and it's quite interesting what they do then. But it's quite hard also to see how far they would melt, and it's really hard to actually control the melt. When it melts too much, it creates really stiff fabric, or rather then it goes back to being just plastic. But then when it melts just a little bit to join it, it's kind of almost quite nice, but like I said, it's really hard to predict what it would do. And maybe if I would have a proper heat press, it would be different. But yeah, with doing it with iron, just doesn't happen very well. I tried also to cutting in smaller bits and doing the process similarly, but kind of ironing bit by bit to try to control it a bit better. Didn't really work. Like you see, the fabric is a bit, yeah, it just kind of goes back to like kind of melted plastic thingy. Also not wearable. So here's the woven sample, ironed. And this one I really like. I'm not sure if I would wear it as pajamas, but there's definitely something in it. It's almost like it melted together the woven structure, so now it feels like very uniform fabric. It has no holes, but it also has kept the aesthetics of the woven structure. You can see the pattern. But it is really stiff, and I can see this being used for accessories. Like shoes, I would love to have shoes with this. Then I did the same with the knitted fabric. This is quite interesting. Look at the difference of the one that is ironed and the one that's not. It has totally lost the bounce. It has created like some sort of a lace. This one on one side is actually quite soft. But it also made it quite stiff, so it has no flex in it. And it just looks like a beautiful piece of plastic lace, I guess. And I also did sample without weaving or knitting it. So I just pressed these kind of yarn bits of crisp packets. And I quite like this one. But again, it's the control, you cannot control anything. There are like holes in it, and it's not really, I mean, definitely not used for fabric. Definitely interesting, definitely worth exploring for accessory designers, but not for pajamas.